Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game So today we're going to continue the series on the Mr. FPGA DE10 Nano project. More specifically, in this instance, Taki and RetroRemake SuperStation One, as well as a mystery console they're teasing that really isn't much of a mystery whatsoever. So we're going to be talking about the new SuperStation One updates, where it is in its overall production, and hopefully shipping soon schedule, as well as all of the different consoles that might be coming down the line in the future. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor and down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell. It definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. And yes, I am aware that the SuperStation One missed that Q3 target shipping date. They did have basically a typhoon go through China. They had to shut down the office for some days. Luckily I talked to Taki and he said no one was injured in that. And additionally they had to do another prototype board for validation because the one that they were planning on using had a few changes that needed to be made. And honestly, I know nobody likes missing their ship dates, including RetroRemake, and no customers like missing out on getting their stuff. The fact that this has been so openly engineered on Twitter with footage and everything else, really am confident that when this thing ships it'll be a great idea, and honestly I'd rather them take their time and get it right than try to ship too soon. But as far as the new stuff being teased right now, and this is kind of a new tease from an old tease about a month ago, you can clearly tell here it says 8 bits but plenty of case colors. It's trying to obscure what it is a little bit, but obviously that controller port on the left hand side is definitely an NES North American style controller port. So it seems like RetroRemake is planning on a console that maybe or maybe doesn't take NES cartridges. We really don't know that yet. We just have some of the details here, including the first shot that we saw where you can clearly tell those are NES controller ports. Now, it would definitely be fun to have some more standalone console stuff that would just use an NES cart. That would be a ton of fun because honestly, there really isn't anything on the market right now that you can buy readily available. It would definitely be fun to have an NES FPGA console from RetroRemake that would take those cartridges, because I have a lot of NES carts, I have a lot of Famicom carts as well, and I'm sure a lot of my viewers do as well. And even though generally I just open up my Mr. FPGA and start playing games, I don't really worry about the physical media too much anymore. It is a thing. A lot of collectors out there and a lot of people that just have nostalgia for these systems want FPGA consoles that have full cart reading capabilities. And I'm sure that's why Taki and RetroRemake were playing around with the idea of getting N64 cores to actually load up cartridges on Mr. FPGA in the SuperStation One. Now granted, as Taki talked about, and I did as well in a previous video, the loading speeds on these definitely isn't something that I think most people would want to deal with, but again, this is just a proof of concept. I'm sure on the NES side of things, cart loading would be near to instantaneous, and I'm sure if you could get some of the actual transfer speeds up on the carts as well, something like N64 could be available, maybe in the future. Now, I am just presuming none of this is guaranteed, so don't think me saying it means it's going to happen. I'm just talking about the technical possibilities of it actually occurring. And obviously N64 FPGA consoles that read carts are a popular thing right now. We have ModRetro and the M64 as well as Analogue 3D coming down the pipeline. Now, additionally, Taki also showed off some of the new PCBs as well. This is version 1.2, and last time we talked about the project, it was version 1.1. So if you take a look here, you basically have an unpopulated PCB, and you'll see it says V1.2 right there. So basically what you do is you spin up these boards, you have a pick and place machine, put all the components on that are available, and then maybe you hand solder a few things, then go to the validation process. That's when you check absolutely every function of what you're making to make sure that PCB is ready for mass production, because trust me, you don't want to make a mistake in this stage. Then you're dealing with bodge wires at the best, and at the worst a complete rerun of hardware that you just paid to get made, and because it was your issue, not the factory's issue, that expense would be on you. So this is kind of still the validation process, and hopefully this is the final PCB that we're going to see before the SuperStation Ones start shipping later on. And you'll see here they had to put about 10 components on because the factory did not have them during validation, and honestly that is pretty much par for the course. But it is fun just to have seen how this product has evolved in public, and that's something I'm always advocating for on the channel. And a couple of commenters asked why I talk about Analogue 3D and delaying things in such a negative light, but when other products end up being delayed, I am more gracious towards them. The simple fact is that is true. I am gracious towards people that show the development process publicly, seeing prototype boards, seeing demonstrations, making people comfortable that what it is that they have pre-ordered is going to in fact be what they expect to get. I do like the these public demonstrations of hardware, of software, of the evolution of the PCBs. That way you can get a real sense of how the sausage gets made, for lack of a better term, and you can see exactly what's going on. And I really wish most companies that weren't the Nintendos, Microsoft, and Sony's of the world would publish these things. Obviously, the big three aren't going to give you some trade secrets, but here, more in the kind of maker community, I really do like that things can be seen, like this right here. This is the version 1.1 of the SuperStation One board. Most of it was done via pick and place machine, but a few components had to be hand soldered on with a hot air rework station, so you get to see exactly what's going on in the process. That's just something I wish Analogue would do, especially with 3D because it is so delayed. Show us a prototype photo of a board. Show us a demo that isn't 100% perfect. I would say right now that 99 out of 100 people that have pre-ordered the Analogue 3D would just love to see something other than some renders and one very highly produced commercial. So when you ask me why I haven't been as mean, quote unquote, to other companies, just because when I can see stuff like this, I can see the forward progress. We're on Analogue. I just don't really get to see that. As I've said before, if Analogue is the best, I will say it happily. I've done a bunch of videos on Pocket and I do love it. Now moving over to some new hardware as well, they are prototyping some SuperStation PlayStation 1 memory cards, and Taki Udon did say on Twitter that these would be compatible with original PlayStation 1 hardware as well, so that is fun. As we take a close-up look here, you're seeing it looks like they're going to be 5 different colors, and they said they prototyped these around $10. Now my guess would be that that's not actually the price they might come in at. I would love to see it, but this feels like a $15 to $20 product all day long, and I think that would be fair. And it is based on the open source memory card format SD to PSX, and that's where you would go into these snack adapters right here, because again you have the ability to use original PlayStation 1 controllers and memory cards on the SuperStation 1, but of course having modern memory cards that have more storage space and are easier to deal with would be a benefit as well. So it seems like RetroRemake is trying to factor into everything you would possibly want, whether or not you have the SuperStation 1 dock, whether you're just using the SuperStation 1 in general, kind of giving you that open ability to articulate your own hardware experience. Now of course if you have a memory card sitting in your drawer at home, I've got about 10, you really wouldn't need to buy this whatsoever, but it is nice that there are options. And honestly, options have been par for the course on the SuperStation 1. All the user repairability, all the modular parts, making memory cards, things such as that for the actual console really allow this to give you as much or as little as you need. Because again, if you're just planning on using this as a PlayStation 1, you just grab the dock and go ahead and pop those memory cards in. But basically every piece will be modular, so if anything goes wrong in the future, you will be able to get those replacement pieces and basically fix it yourself. And it will be fun to actually get this thing in front of my cameras and review it, and hopefully that does come soon once all of the actual validation phase is done and I can be able to actually tear this thing down, show it to you, and explain exactly how it works and what I think about it, because I know everyone is really waiting on a review for these things even if they are pre-ordered, and I will definitely get that to you as soon as the hardware is available to get in front of my cameras. But in the meantime, it has been fun to see all the case design as well. And if you don't know me, I do have a background in injection molding for goggles and sunglasses basically when I worked at Burton Snowboards, so maybe you guys don't care too much about plastics, but I've always enjoyed them, and honestly seeing this color matching exhibit right here was something that was very interesting to me, but maybe not to you. Because trust me, getting these colors to match this closely is no small task whatsoever, even from batch to batch runs of goggles when we would manufacture them in Hong Kong or in China. There could be color variants, so getting so close to original colors of original PlayStation 1 hardware, definitely something that at least for me I would commend. Maybe not the biggest deal in the world to you, but it does seem like RetroRemake has more plans after SuperStation 1. Obviously they're still teasing that Mr. FPGA handheld, and that would be the #1 system I would love to see, so I can take my Mister with me. But honestly, an FPGA NES console that you could pop original cartridges in, hopefully, would definitely be something that I would love to review and test on the channel, and I'm sure a lot of you would love to see underneath your television. Because right now the race is on to have a company that makes FPGA recreation consoles that are readily available and easy to ship. Because Analogue has made some great devices out there, but for the most part they're completely sold out and they don't do more runs, so if you want to get another one, you basically have to go onto eBay, onto the the open secondhand market and pay whatever the market commands for that. So there definitely is a space in gaming for other consoles, and hopefully RetroRemake can deliver those. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think. Would you be interested in an 8-bit NES FPGA console, or do you just kind of want to stick to your Mr. Pies or SuperStation Ones? But short of that, we are done. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.